Hello, welcome back to the Cronecast at the Rising Moon. Hey guys, on this channel I put up my Logical Magic Examining Esoterica podcast. I also have pick-a-cards. I also have some magic lessons, but today I have a pick-a-card for you that is how can I manifest more abundance and success? And I know some people like to work with crystals. I rarely use them in pick-a-cards, but I am today. What you're going to want to do is concentrate, see which pile really calls out to you. You're going to have a moment here just with the cards to try and figure out what the right pile is for you. We have pyrite is going to be, and that is one of the crystals that helps people manifest money in particular. Just hold this up here so you can get a moment with it. This is citrine. Citrine is another abundance crystal. This is typically around my money lamp. I have a money lamp that I burn sometimes. And then we have amethyst, and amethyst is one of the best crystals for psychic protection. All right, so see which one really calls out to you, and I will see you at the time of your reading. Welcome back. If you chose pile number one, this is your reading. This is citrine. Citrine is one of the abundance crystals. It is one of the things that you can hold usually in your dominant hand before meditating in order to receive good messages about how to manifest success and abundance. We're going to put that over there. We're going to put the number one over here so that people can easily fast forward to their readings, but there are timestamps in the description box down below. We are working with the Tarot of the Flowers. And please remember that tarot is, one of the best things about tarot is it doesn't just tell you what's coming up. It can be one of the connections to your guides. So you can ask questions like, how can I manifest more abundance and success? For pile number one, how can they manifest more abundance and success? I'm not going to be too surprised if you're drawn to this one, if this is mostly about money. But remember, abundance and success are not necessarily only about money. Let's get going here. 1 and 2, and we go on 3. I like this. I use different decks a great deal because the different forms of artwork can really spark your intuition. When you're working with any forms of cards, make sure to look at the images. We have the 4 cups in the upright. Now this can be a card of discontent overall. One of the calls for that is when you get that kind of card, the biggest thing that you can do is practice as much gratitude as you possibly can for what you do have. We can get caught up in what's not going well. We can get caught up in the, I don't like this about my life or my living situation or the relationship or the job that I have. And we really need to manifest from a place of positivity because like energy will attract like energy. So remember that an attitude of gratitude is not about denying what you're not happy with, but it is about focusing instead about what you are. So as a, for instance, it could be that you are surrounded by something beautiful. You had a great cup of coffee this morning. It's a beautiful day. You saw a butterfly, whatever it might be. Be grateful for the experiences that alleviate whatever discontent you might have. And then the easiest way to practice an attitude of gratitude is to thank people that you interact with. If you check out the grocery store, say thank you. Thank you for your help today. I appreciate your help. Living in an attitude of gratitude is living in an attitude of appreciation. We extend it towards our life, towards ourselves. Appreciate your own resilience and your own stick-to-itiveness. And then also just simply being grateful for the varied experience that brings us the lessons that we need to learn. Okay, I have the 5 Wands in the upright, which is a card for change. It is a card for often physical activity. It can be a conflict card, but I rarely see it that way personally. I need to clear notification. I hope it doesn't clear off my, there we go. The 5 of Wands for me is often a call to move around more. Remember, to be in flow is one of the things that indicates is having a flowing energy. And it does not have to be rigorous physical exercise. It can be dancing around to music. It can be chair yoga. It can be humming along to music in the car. There are lots of different ways to be in flow that aren't involving exertion. But since discontent is one of the first things that came out here, one of the things that you are being told by your guides is that a little bit of like a dedication to, I undertake healthy habits in order to have healthy outcomes. We manifest best from a place of healthful energy. We have the Eight of Wands in reverse, which can be a blocked or a delayed journey. And then I have the Ace of Cups in the upright. We're doing an infinity spread. For some people, for some of you, you need to accept something that didn't work out was for the best. And it looks like it might have been a relationship that meant like, you thought was going to make you happy and it just didn't quite work out. And just accepting that it was the best thing. That sometimes we really, our lessons come to us in we want the things that aren't right for us, and then we have to examine why. So there was something, there's a blocked journey that you kind of need to just embrace the idea that I might not see it yet, but it is for the best. There's a lot of attitude management and emotional management on this one that talks about the steps that you should undertake to be able to have the mental state and the emotional state to manifest from. So we're doing an infinity spread. That is 10 cards total. This is my real world energy. We're going for our subconscious issues here. High Priestess in reverse. This is like it's a lesson learned energy for me. The High Priestess is usually depicted as a person who is reading a woman. It's usually the goddess Persephone is reading a book. So it can be one of the cards for learning. It can be secrets and mysteries, but it's things being made clear as well. You need to clear your energy a little bit more frequently than you do as well. And what is clearing? Sometimes it really is just going out in nature and breathing. It's a grounding exercise. It can be listening to sound recordings that clear your home. If you are comfortable working with the archangels, then on Archangel Michael clearing is never goes amiss when we're trying to clear. I have the Ten of Wands in the upright, which is stress, carrying too many things as well. There is something that they're asking you to let go of its importance to you. And it's going to take different shapes and forms for different people. Yeah, King of Pentacles in reverse. You have a blocking energy around a tendency towards depression, which may be why they're asking you to be a little bit more physically, do a little bit more physical movement, because it helps stir up the correct brain chemistry. And the correct, it makes it sound like if you have depression, that's incorrect. It just, you don't feel well. It's hard to manifest from a place of diminishing energy. It seems counterintuitive, but it's actually true that the more exercise you get, the more energy that you have. Now, not to the point of exhaustion. You have to watch your stress responses. But stress causes depression in you, and sometimes you try to put more effort into what you're trying to do instead of more effort into healthy habits, and they're suggesting healthier habits to get a better outcome. With the Seven of Swords in reverse, which is clarity. And there really is. I don't know if it was a heartbreak situation because I don't have that on my table yet. We'll get our two outcomes over here. But it does look like the first thing that is like just a little bit of a disappointed, discontented energy, which is the Four of Cups in the upright. That can eventually be a card that leads to luxury. It is something happening behind the scenes, but initially it's dealing with an overall feeling of discontent. Is just clarity on something, is accepting that I really get the feeling it was a person that you might have wanted, and that to accept that if they didn't want you back, they were never going to make you happy. That they didn't have the same level of investment in you that you deserve. And to try and accept that it's not about your worth, and that, you know, it's not about whether you're lovable, whether somebody else loves you back. It's about whether or not they're in the right place for you to have matching values. And apparently you didn't have matching values in what you found valuable in another person. And you should never have to work as hard as this table is indicating that you tried to work at a particular relationship. All right, King of Cups in reverse. That can be emotional regulation issues, but it can also be a narcissist. Two of Swords in the upright, which is a blocked journey. It can be being careful with your choices as well. We'll take one additional clarifier just because it helps. Queen of Pentacles in reverse, which is fear and anxiety. So group number one you are going to be able to manifest, but you need to do a little bit of healing on your emotional world. The podcast that I referred to, I did so much work on self-love, on explaining different techniques of what sound recordings you can listen to. So I'm just going to refer you to that. But please remember that you live in a time where literally every form of healing is available to you. You just kind of have to be dedicated and make the commitment to yourself. It does look like some people here are dealing with a disappointment around a relationship with somebody that they're showing up with narcissism markers. And to please remember that that whole narcissist empath paradigm, like once you heal it, it never comes back to you. But that healing it is really understanding that it's like, I understand why it would never be right to me. I also understand that I have a lack of confidence. I've got two different cards here that's saying that your ability, your self-talk needs to be healed because it is contributing to a feeling of a lack of confidence. And what does this have to do with manifesting more? Hey, remember, the law of attraction does work, but we have to heal our stuff first. And this is the thing that is keeping you from manifesting abundance and success, is that at your very core, you struggle with believing that you're worth it. And it looks like there may have been a rejection aspect that contributed to your feeling as if maybe you weren't being, it's like you took it as a judgment rather than as a protection. And to remember that, if you were rejected by somebody, that it was, that is for the best. What we learn as we connect spiritually is that what it belongs in our life stays there without a lot of effort. Let's check our soul helper because we're trying to manifest more success. You might be thinking that more effort is what you need, and you need to step back a little bit and try to take care of yourself. Now, admittedly, it's a difficult time in the world and people have economic pressures on them, but you are supposed to be giving yourself the permission to focus on your wellness and do the bare minimum to meet your financial needs, knowing that you are repouring your foundation to be able to manifest from a place of success and wellness. And that there just is a slight, there's a disappointment that still haunts you, and to just do a little bit of work around releasing that. There are the sound healers have very good recordings. Meditative Mind does as well. Inner Lotus Healing Music. Those are some of the channels that I recommend. They're going to have cord cutters. They're going to have toxic relationship releasers. Let's see what the Soul Explorer is. Awaken the magic of your creativity. Immerse yourself in the world of feelings. We do have a little bit. Remember, King Cups in reverse can be also emotional regulation issues. It doesn't look that way in particular, but that to remember that beyond a certain point, healing is a choice that we make or we're not making. And that, we can, everybody has things go wrong in life, and that's not to be dismissive to anybody's pain. It's just a reminder that you're not alone in this. And awakening the magic of your creativity to manifest more, create more. It can be cooking, it can be drawing, it can be immersing your life in the world of fiction for a little while as well. Sparking your creativity in the way that works best for you. If you like to crochet, then crochet. If you like to paint, then paint. If you don't like to do any of that, but you're like, I can do a paint by number app, then do a paint by number app. Create more in order to manifest more as well. Deal with the emotional world first. Let go of whatever this disappointment was. Please remember that just because one thing was not right for you doesn't mean that there will never be a thing that is right for you. The time for romance has come. It is time for a change. Do not wait or put off decisions any longer. See it as an opportunity for a radiant life. The only thing I'm getting on this is that for some people here, and whenever it's a general reading, we can have more than one outcome going on. For some people here, it involves understanding that, please don't put yourself on a shelf and wait forever because something didn't work out. It does not predict what your outcomes will be. Everybody, some of the most incredibly physically gorgeous people you've ever seen in your life wanted somebody who didn't want them back. I guarantee you that, genuinely, Helen of Troy probably had a crush on somebody who did not return it, because it's just the way that works. We all strive for things sometimes to help us understand our own worth and to try and approach it that way. But that there is an indication that there is another opportunity for you with this particular card, but that it does involve accepting that, hey, if something didn't work out, it wasn't meant to work out. And that it might have been heartbreaking and it might have been difficult, but ultimately it taught me about, I don't want to pin my hopes or my love or my energy towards somebody who's not like, hey, lucky me, I get you. And that to heed the red flags while they're still pink, and you will have completely different outcomes going forward. Lion, harness the loyal and protective aura of the lion in charge ahead magnificently. What else have we got? And then we're gonna switch tacks a little bit, and I'm gonna ask the energy cards what's coming up for you. Mountain, know that you are protected as you face challenges, but remain cautious. And then, ooh, Devil, take care immediately to avoid temptation and deceit with star on the back. Hard times are over. Look forward to an abundance of positivity and enthusiasm. So what's going on with this? You are protected from, oh, you're not viewing it that way. Okay, listen, this is not a whole true for everybody, but like sincerely, like somebody had their heart set on someone, and it may be more than one person, and it just was not meant to be. It was not meant to be. That person was incredibly selfish. They may have addiction issues, by the way, with that Seven of Swords in reverse. And to try and view it as the universe having done you a solid rather than denying you your heart's desire. And that to allow yourself to move forward, accepting that part of an abundant life is of making room for the things that are trying to be brought to you. I do like this. You are strong enough to overcome your challenges, and that the thing that might have hurt you so much was actually a form of the divine trying really hard to protect you from someone who is undeserving. So we have a need to let go of a blocked journey that causes you a feeling of depression and sadness. It makes you a little bit anxious as well, because you might have really, really invested in this and thought, this person is my soulmate, this person is my everything. Just because we're wrong doesn't mean we're on the wrong path sometimes. Because sometimes we're convinced we're right because we're really resistant to learning a lesson. And to try and view it that way, and I'm never trying to be dismissive to anybody's pain, but to keep that part in mind. Yikes. Love spell, you've been bewitched. There is also in that empath narcissist paradigm, please remember that's one of the forms of generational curses, and it's actually an enslavement curse. And to try and view it that way, if you had something that didn't work out with a narcissist, that something was really trying to free you from a toxic pattern. Challenges, make a decision to work on inner healing. All right, pile number one, to manifest more abundance and prosperity, there is this underlying current of examine your romantic attachments as to whether or not like somebody's putting in equal effort, because you need to live in a balanced state to manifest well. And then we have, oh my gosh, I could not have done that if I tried. Narcissist, love spell challenges narcissist. Never invest in a narcissist. They will not invest in you back. It is always best to let them go. And remember, it's a poor coping tool. You can still have compassion for it without having so much compassion that you're like, I excuse away their poor behavior for me. And then we have pets on the back. Now, whenever I get a narcissist card and a pet, I need you to remember that's how narcissists view people. They view them as things that are there for their pleasure and at their disposal. And if they're not in a good mood, then they don't bother playing with their dog. And if they are in a good mood, they will. But that it's not about the dog, it's about how the narcissist views the dog. And I've got a rejection energy on this that looks like it is one of the things that you need to release in order to manifest the things that you are hoping for. And if you are trying to manifest a relationship with the person that my cards are a little bit like, let him go, is or her go, or them go, that person is a narcissist, to remember that part, that narcissists don't love anybody but themselves. And so that it's a solid break from the universe when a narcissist does not want you. I'm going to use some angel answer cards, which contain our angel numbers. I will take the step of reading them, which I don't always. Confidence, strength, and companionship. Your prayers and intentions have always been very clear, strong, and without reservation. Therefore, the change will come faster than you expect. When your dreams come true, don't let it confuse you. They may appear in ways you don't expect, so stay confident, always talk to God, and seek further confirmation. You have, for the people who are talking about a relationship, it's a different relationship. And you're going to know because this person does not text you back. They leave you unread. They're making it very obvious that don't chase this person because they're getting a rise out of it. And that it's not about you, it's about something they don't have inside of them. Persevere, grow, kindness, and abundance. This message is an affirmation of your doing well. You are on the right path, so keep going. This sign represents that you have carefully chosen your thoughts and that you should focus more steadily on your goals. Indeed, add appropriate emotions to your thoughts, such as being thankful for the gifts you have in life. Gratitude will accelerate the process of your realization. there's something you need to let go of that's a disappointment. It appears to be in a relationship capacity. It doesn't mean you're going to end up alone. It just means that you were trying to invest in somebody who was a junk bond. They were not worthy of the investment of your energy and time. And that does not mean that no one will ever be, but that you are being asked to face that part. And for everything else, remember, gratitude is really the thing that helps the most. And that is one of the things that we already talked about. Also, if you want more love in your life, like, allow yourself to do things like, watch romantic movies or read romantic books. Allow yourself to be immersed in a love story if you want to begin having one. But always pay particular attention to the red flags surrounding somebody, which includes, if they're not showing a matching level of interest, let them go. Calm is not a weakness. Yeah, being unaffected by what goes on around you does not mean that you don't care. It just means that you go with the flow very easily. Know your truth. These are interesting ones. Set your intentions. Let go of ego on the back. So I did a whole podcast on ego death. I can refer you to that one as well. But ego death is really just, understanding that maybe what's happening to you is not, even though it's happening to you, about you, but rather helping you on your path, helping you learn the lessons that you need. There appears to have been something that was like, it damaged your confidence, and it doesn't need to, because you're not viewing it as a form of divine protection, but it was a form of divine protection. We're going to close this guy out with the Talisman Oracle. What do we need to know about? Oh, you know what? I wanted to do one other thing. I wanted to ask what's coming up as things stand now. This is how you can manifest more. Follow the advice, don't follow the advice. The guides are just, they'll be persistent. They always come back. What's coming up for pile number 1 as things stand now? Please remember, we can change outcomes we don't like. Now, usually not when it comes to another person who is not worthy of our love, but that if you get something in a reading that, like, this is going to be a difficult situation, then you prepare. What is coming up for pile number 1 as things stand now? All tied up. Wow, that's another blocked energy. I always tell people, try not to try and manifest specific people. You genuinely wouldn't be super comfortable with somebody trying to make you do things, so don't do it to other people. Man holding a coin. Gabriel is the truth energy. And 4th chakra archangel with the 3rd chakra archangel Shmuel. Personal power, heart chakra, face the truth about a blocked journey. They really are. They're not telling you what's coming up, as much as they're saying you need to accept this part and let go of something in order to manifest what you want. And if that is, not in conjunction with what you're experiencing right now, this isn't your pile, but to try and accept it as the things that didn't work out are simply because something else was meant to work out. And that's all it ever is. Concealment can be emotional regulation issues again, overcome fear, willpower, and courage. And then I have passion on the back, but I'm going to pick that guy up and we're just going to talk about these guys. We have hidden emotions, which is fear. We've got some emotional regulation issues that we talked about. Remember, in the law of attraction, we're told, don't think anything negative. What you really need to do is when you have fear, when you have anxiety, is to talk to yourself about it, about how you're strong, how you're courageous, how you can get through anything. That it's okay that you're afraid. It's a frightening world sometimes. And in this particular instance, since there's such a vein of like, hey, it looks like there was like this energy of getting your heart set on somebody who was not worthy, is to keep telling yourself, everybody gets rejected sometimes. Whether you want to think of it as the most beautiful woman you've ever heard of being rejected, or whatever it might be. Hey, look at most of like the supermodels and things. They've got multiple divorces. I mean, honest to goodness, it's not an issue of beauty or desirability. It's about compatibility. And sometimes we want someone who's in an incompatible state with us because we're trying to compensate for a deficit. And almost always when people go for narcissists, it's because they're seeking people, when you don't have enough self-confidence, you go for people with too much of it. And that's the easiest way to break down what is the empath narcissist paradigm. We will get you a romance angel and then get out of here, because so much of this has been about love. If you've had disappointments in love, you have the option of continuing and going forward in any capacity that you want, whether you want to try and find new love or whether you want to try and find the love of the life that you are living, which is completely valid. And for some people, that will expand, and then they have somebody come towards them because, you know, we attract more love when we are happy. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. It is important to be able to discuss your feelings with people. It's also very important to be able to discuss your feelings with yourself. And that it's also okay that if you're struggling with getting over something, it might be time to talk to somebody about it. Pay attention to the red flags. All right, so, okay. Past life relationship. I'm super, super, super sorry because the cards are very much around this. You want to manifest more. If you're trying to manifest a relationship, the cards are, and this is not going to be for everybody, but you're going to know whether or not it applies to your situation, are trying to tell you, hey, if there's been somebody who's been really resistant to a long-term relationship with you or returning your interest, could you maybe accept that as the best thing for you? Because it's just wasting your time and your energy, and it's depleting your confidence and making you more fearful and anxious. And that to remember, it's not about you as a desirable person, as a lovable person. You're lovable. But if somebody didn't view you that way, then, you know, forget them and move right on. And it can be very easy to say and very difficult to do. There was a lot of advice on what you need to work on. Please work on your solar plexus chakra, because you did get the Chamuel, and then your heart chakra, which is the Raphael card. Meditative Mind, the Sound Healers, Inner Lotus Healing Music. I'm such a broken record about this. A Tao Wind Spirit. There are fantastic, free chakra vibrations. They're free. How can I sell something as more than it's free? For goodness sake. It's available to you through YouTube. We are so, so fortunate that anything that you are working on, there are frequencies that can help you heal your heartbreak if you are dealing with your heart having been broken by somebody not being on the same page as you on a relationship. But it isn't about you being lovable. It's about them being lovable enough to see your worth. If somebody did not return your feelings, move on from them, because it's keeping you from the person who will, and make you remember why people write stories and books and songs about love. Okay, that book, that one looked like there was somebody who really wants to manifest love, and the easiest way to do that is to accept that what didn't work out wasn't meant to work out. So please bring me what will work out for me. That can be your mantra. I accept what didn't work out as being best for me, and I ask that you bring me what is best for me in love. Okay, that was your pile number one, your reading pile number one. If you would like to book me for a private reading, you can do so through attherisingmoon.com. It's the only way to book me. Don't forget to check out my podcast, Logical Magic, Examining Esoterica, where I cover how to heal absolutely everything that was hinted at in your cards. And I hope the love that is worthy of you soon finds you. Take care. Be well. Hi, welcome back. Hey, if you chose pile number 2, this is your reading. We're putting the number 2 over there so people can easily fast forward to their reading. You chose the citrine. This is actually one of the crystals that I normally have around my money lamp. So it's charged with a lot of money energy currently. We're going to put that there. Remember that whenever you are attracted to a crystal, if you want to go out and purchase it, the best way to get that energy is to hold it in your dominant hand, which is for me, my right hand, or you can also lie back with it on either your third eye or on your heart chakra and breathe in and out about 10 times to start really absorbing the energy on it. We have the Do You Believe in Magic Tarot is bringing you your predictive cards. For anybody who likes collecting the decks, this is a really, really stiff cardstock, and it can be difficult for people who read reversals to shuffle it. I did the bridge shuffling off camera because it's pretty awkward because it's very, very stiff, but it's a fun deck. We're doing an infinity spread. How can pile number 2 manifest more abundance and success, prosperity? This will be advice. You can ask the cards what to do. It is one of the ways you can use the cards to connect to spirit guides. Readers who help with life's purpose, I am one, are able to do that as well. It's not just a predictive tool. We have the Hierophant in the upright, a card of traditional marriage, mentorship, teacher, higher learning. It's also the Taurus card. It's got an issue of 5 of Wands in reverse. It's interesting. That can be like a settled and a peaceful energy, but I just got 5 in the upright, 5 in reverse, which is the energy of change. In tarot, remember, numerological repetition can also give you an indication of what you're working with. 8 of Pentacles, mastering a situation. A lot of home comfort energy around that as well. We have the 6 of Pentacles, everything being in a balanced state. This is a good energy. So a couple of things. If you have any clutter in your home, resolve the piles. That's one of the ways that'll get some energy flowing into your manifestation energy. It looks like you undertake all the right steps, like you try and have the good practice around it. The only thing that they are asking for is, be a little bit careful with clearing away some clutter and letting go of some things. Don't try too hard as well. Be in as peaceful an energy as possible. For some of you, you need to move on to a different mentor or a different teacher as well. If you have been following, every now and then we've learned as many lessons as we can from somebody. And it's not that we can't ever revisit them, but this is, by the way, this has nothing to do with me. It's a different teacher. Somebody as a teacher, they're meant to, like, you've learned everything you can, and it's time to move on, and you'll know who you are. We're going the 3 of Pentacles, co-creating with the universe as well. Looks like you do the good work here. 10 of Swords in reverse. There's a trauma card. A peaceful resolution on that. If you have been trying to heal, like your shadow work, your trauma side, it's looking good. It's looking good. You'll still have like vague stirrings of it every now and then. Just take good care of it. You've really got this mastered energy. 5 of Pentacles in the upright. That is mastering anxiety. Working with your inner world will give you better results. There is something around, like, there's just this weird home environment around this where, like, make sure you're clearing and dusting and things. And it's not about, like, home shaming you. It's about keeping that energy in a good and positive flow. It's also one of the ways to attract the goddess energy. And the goddess energy is one of the ways that we can manifest most easily. And it doesn't have to belong to a particular belief system, like Lakshmi is the goddess of abundance in the Hindu religion. But like green Tara or white Tara might be in Buddhism. Whatever belief system you are called to. And you're called to something that is not, like this, when I said there's a teacher that you've learned everything you're meant to, this has nothing to do with me. It is something that it's my I don't know what it was. It was a connection of consciousness that, like, it's not working for you any longer, and you are meant to start encompassing new things. It doesn't invalidate what they taught you. It's just that you've exhausted the energy of what it could do for you, and it's time to move on from it. We have the, really, Elder of Wands. That's the King of Wands, I believe. In reverse, 6 of Pentacles. This is a good thing. That can be a triggered state, is the only thing. Tower in the upright. That is not a bad tower at all. I do not have a bad relationship to the tower. Complete sudden change. With the Hermit in the upright, which is soul searching. Well, you're being asked to actually directly ask for guidance a little bit more than you do from your guides, guardians, ancestors as well. Whatever this, teacher that you've had in the past where the methods just aren't working for you, again, please remember that has nothing to do with invalidating their techniques. It's just that sometimes we've learned everything. It's like a class that you're meant to finish up. You took the final. It's time to move on. Take another one to expand your abilities. You work best with learning constantly for the expansion of your abundant energy. That is the thing that you're meant to be working on. And it doesn't have to be about spirituality. It could be about the Ming Dynasty. It could be about Etruscan art. It could be anything. As long as you are continuing to learn, that is one of your best manifesting tools. Learning is your superpower, apparently. Here we go. It's why you'll be like, everything worked for me that this person taught me, and then it stopped working. It's like because you need to be a lifelong learner. It is your expansive energy. I have proposal, romantic or business opportunity ahead. I've got something with that. This tower is not freaking me out on any level. It's not coming with any calamity cards. Remember, that's a divine intervention card. It's also the Epiphany card. Now, the premise behind the tower is that anything built on a faulty foundation must fall. But it looks like you're simply being asked to connect to your inner world more as well. And that does not have to be meditation. I did a podcast for Logical Magic that was about how to open your third eye without meditation. Not everybody likes to meditate, particularly if you have a tendency towards anxiety, which it looks like you have a tendency towards anxiety, that it can be really difficult to meditate. There are other ways. It's a facilitation tool through sensory stimulation that has to do with sight and sound, sometimes smell. I don't usually recommend food because that can lean into disordered energies. But if it works for you, it works for you. Judgment, soul searching will bring inner peace to many areas of your life. We got that. You're ask for more guidance on what you're supposed to do, and don't expect it to come to you in a trumpet from on high and then they announced. Ask and believe that the answers are being given to you at a subconscious level, and they will rise up when you're meant to. But it's like you need to commit more of your energy to making room for stillness in your brain. And if meditation doesn't work for you, that's okay. Just find the way that does. And that can be focus. Like some people like to paint little lead figures or something as a way to focus. A focus tool will help you. And then we have patience. Slow down, change your attitude, and clear your mind. I've got angels. Your angels are guiding and protecting you on your spiritual journey on the back. Don't be in a rush in anything. Do not think that more effort is the thing that will yield more results. More attention to the idea that your guides are always there trying to communicate with you, trying to give you the information that you need. We have the slow down energy with the Five of Wands in reverse here as well. This is one of the transmutation cards. It can be trauma, but that there may be an element of make sure you're not trying to earn your worth in your own eyes. I see that a lot through people who've had difficult, particularly formative experiences, is that sometimes they don't realize that they're really looking to their industry, their productivity as a sign of their worthwhile qualities. And please remember, that's a construct that is made by a capitalistic world. And hey, money's great. Who doesn't like luxurious things? But that doesn't really determine the worth of a human being or the worth that you should feel about yourself. But rather, that is what your society tells you is worthy about you. And that sometimes it's not serving you, and to just be careful with you. And to spend more time in a relaxed energy saying, okay, I might not understand how you're giving me the answers right now, but I'm calling out to my guides, my guardians, my ancestors, my angels, and I'm telling them, I need direction on my path. Will you please find a way to get it to me? And then you just pay attention to the signs around you, and you also allow yourself to, maybe you'll ask 1 week and it won't come in for 3. But that you have to understand that they're always out there trying to rearrange reality to be able to talk to you. You are caught up in drama. Act to free yourself, change, and blossom again. That's an interesting one. Not really hinted at at my table, although investment in fiction can actually really help with the ability to manifest. Honest to goodness, people don't realize that because it's engaging in an immaterial or fictional world is the very thing that contains our magical energy. The lotus within you awakens. You are master of light on high. And we want more on this. Have the courage to be free. Know that freedom begins where desire ends. A new strategy is required. Find the path to love and happiness. So when a new strategy is required, it does not mean abandon everything that you're doing. Just expand what you're doing to try and invite more guidance into your life. And that I've got this weird feeling that you have a very difficult time just letting yourself be in your life. That there's always a part of you that's like, what am I supposed to be doing next? I'm neglecting a responsibility. And if I'm neglecting a responsibility, that means I'm not worthy. You are more than your ability to meet your responsibilities. It is important to try and meet your responsibilities because it gives us a life with fewer disruptions. But that's what the worth of it is. It doesn't mean you're a good human being. It just means that you keep your ship in order. And to remember that that's what your effort goes towards, is keeping your ship in order. Again, I've got something around piles of stuff in your house that just clear it out. If you haven't, if you find something you haven't worn in 3 years, then, chances are good you're not going to wear it. But if you have to keep it, get it hung up and, cleaned and etc. There's just a slight cluttering energy around your physical self that they ask you to take a look at. Honeymoon. Honeymoon phase, attending someone's wedding, but that's also a card for travel, and it's also a card for, a break from things. It'll also be the card for June. Move on. Someone is unavailable, a waste of time, it's over. These are not necessarily relationship cards, and when you are drawing relationship cards and a relationship theme emerges, the only thing I've got here, since I do have a traditional marriage card, is liar. Be careful of someone sneaky. What I was about to say is that if you're involved with someone who is involved in a relationship, you're being asked to let that sucker go in my reading. And like, I don't mean the person is, it's just that like your investment in it drains you. I think it's only for like maybe 1 or 2 people here, so don't worry too much about it. And then love spell, you've been bewitched, date night. Hey, listen, we can all invest in the wrong person from time to time. But what they really are saying is, remember, the liar card and love spell can also be about the fictional constructs that apparently you need to try and find something to watch. Because you're too hyper-focused, and hyper-focus is a form of fixation that the universe has trouble working with for manifestation. And withdrawing into self can be also withdrawing into your healthful inner world that involves your imagination. Your imagination is your friend in manifestation. But when it comes to relationships, it's usually a foe. Only go by how someone is treating you in the 3D and what the evidence of the 3D is. That's the only thing is like, I just have this weird, like, it feels like there's for somebody here, there's a connection to someone who is, still legally married and maybe not conveying what they're doing accurately. Okay, and to just don't waste time that's the only other thing. Express your feelings. Do not be afraid of expressing negative emotions, even though the law of attraction is like, don't allow yourself negative thoughts. That's not what will work. It is to understand, to process, and to take care of whatever, because you've got an anxiety marker on this, to understand that it's normal to be anxious in a world that practically encourages us to be so, but to take good, kind care of it and to express your feelings. If you're afraid of something, it's like, I'm afraid I'm not going to meet all my responsibilities. And then just, counter that with be the devil and the angel on your own shoulder, where your fear is telling you you're not going to be able to do something, but like your logical mind can tell you, no, you do everything you're supposed to. You'll be fine. And again, to keep in mind that concept of like keeping all bills paid and blah, blah, it's about keeping the lights on in your home and keeping a roof over your head. It's not about your worth as a human being. Journey within, you have so many on that. If you have not found the way to connect, you need to. I did do a podcast on it. It explains an entire method on how to use focus tools to take the place of meditation. Abundance is your right. I'm on this back. Kindness counts. Kindness counts. Approach yourself kindly as well. Approach others as well. If you live in an energy of kindness and compassion and self-love and self-appreciation and it's not centeredness, it's self-value, then everything that comes to you will reflect that. Our activities, our thoughts, what we value, it's all reflected back at us. And to try and to keep that in mind as we go forward. I'm going to use the Sacred Traveler on this particular one. To manifest more, you need to find a way to connect. I will do an energy card draw to see what is currently coming up for you. When I tried it with pile number 1, it was so focused on one particular message that I couldn't get it to talk to me about that. Because again, you can use the cards as a predictive source, or you can use them for advice on what you're supposed to do. It can be difficult to switch horses like that midstream, and in the first pile, it just wouldn't let me. But I'm going to try with this pile as well. Okay, what do we got here? I picked up the card upside down. I do not read oracle cards in reverse. Discovering the truth. You stand in the light of truth. Gosh darn it. Great adventure. Take a risk, venture forward. Protected by angels, distant thunder, and wise leader. So clear the air, and you're a beacon of light for others, protected by angels. I do have at least, whenever I'm doing general readings, there can be one message for one person that is like, please hear that. Somebody has outgrown their mentor or their teacher. And that it doesn't mean that mentor or teacher then becomes full of it. It just means that, listen, you've learned what you can from this person, and it's time to clear the air and move on. Clearing the air on this particular one really did, there's like a please clear your home energy. And it's not just physical dust or move that pile. It is, pay a sound bowl clearing in your home. They're all over YouTube. They're actually really easy to find. Here we go. Meditative Mind has them. Azure Meditations, A-Z-U-R. I like them a lot. There we go. Overcome fear. I've got that. And by the way, pile number 1 got that as well. Remember, it's natural. Fear is one of the things that tells us we're not safe, but it can get out of control and keep us from moving forward sometimes. And it can keep us from releasing relationships. It can keep us from moving on from a job. It's cast away negativity. Overcome fear, cast away negativity. Remember, you're the person who's in charge of what your inner dialogue is, and that you can choose it. I also did a podcast on that. I spent years literally doing podcasts and doing nothing but pick cards trying to help people heal. And, now I'm moving more towards, and what do you do when you're healed? Overcome fear, cast away negativity, courage, a lot of things around courage. So let me talk to you a little bit about this and willpower. Overcome fear, it's always important to kindly acknowledge it with that inner dialogue where we basically become our own mentor. Where you're talking to yourself about, it's okay that you're afraid. My gosh, the world is terrifying. Who wouldn't be afraid in this world sometimes? But you have a really excellent track record of working everything out. I'm strong, I'm powerful, I'm courageous, I'm good. These are the things that you say to yourself in order to overcome that. But you don't notice that you have a fear or an anxious response and start, I'm powerful, I'm good, you're kind to it first. Be kind to it first. Trying to squash a feeling just means repressing it. If you take it out, give it a hug and a cup of cocoa, and then say, and now we're changing directions on this. That's the thoughts create our reality as well. Is change your approach to how you're managing a negative response that may have to do with an emotional, I have an anxiety disorder. I'm certainly not alone in that. I manage it without any medication and just through behavioral things, and it barely bothers me. But it still exists, and sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I have to do exactly what I'm talking to you about, which is, hey, you have an anxiety disorder. It's completely normal to be afraid sometimes, but you have an amazing track record of always figuring everything out. Is you talk to yourself kindly, like you're talking to your very best friend who's having a difficult day. You wouldn't say, shape up, you coward, to your best friend. You would say, of course you're afraid. This, that, and that happened. And then you try and introduce positive things. Treat yourself like you would somebody, be kind to you. You got the kindness counts thing. Your inner dialogue needs to be kind to you. If you want other people to be kind to you, if you want other people to value you, and that is part of abundance, is having a life that is fulfilling and constantly giving you more than enough, giving you what you need, and an ever-expansive energy, then remember, kindness expands, and unfortunately, unkindness and trying to act like you're your own Marine drill sergeant in your head just squashes things. Be kind and compassionate to whatever is going on with the repeated energies around fear and asking you to find courage. It doesn't mean you're a coward if you experience fear. A lot of very intuitive people can be overwhelmed by fear and anxiety because it's the collective energy in the world right now. And if you get a lot of things done where you're fearful and anxious, you're an incredibly brave person. It's hard for you to do those things, and yet you do them anyway. Talk to yourself about how much you admire that part of you, because nobody else but you knows how hard it is. That's how good you are at it. Nobody else can tell. That's how you talk to yourself. And before you know it, when you start to feel afraid, the part of you that has been encouraged and loved into understanding how courageous you truly are wakes up and is like, follow me. We can get out of this dark place. Follow me. Now let's get going. These are the angel number cards, which I will read in total, which I don't always do since I'm a keyword reader. But I will read these in total so that you can get your angel numbers, which are reminders from the universe of, again, what are we talking about? How to manifest more, how to have a more abundant life. 222, positive, persistent, optimistic, and upward. Please speak to yourself optimistically. Only you suffer from your negativity if you're engaging in negativity, and it's normal. It really is, because we have a world that teaches us to pick on ourselves and find fault. And what you're really supposed to do is find your gifts, encourage them to flourish, and then face the things that maybe you're working on. The thoughts you have just planted are beginning to grow and take shape. Keep watering and nurturing them, and soon they will break through the ground. Don't give up in the first 5 minutes of the miracle. This is a card for miracles as well. Your achievements will become increasingly obvious, so keep up the good work, keep positive thinking, stay affirming, and keep visualizing. Don't use it as a smothering tool. First, First, you examine what's causing the fire within, and you take away its fuel. But you don't try and smother it, because it will still be there. It will still be there. Anything we repress is still there. But when we drag it out into the light, kindly, compassionately, with self-love, then we are in the energy of love. And from the energy of love, we manifest more. All right, so you got 222. What else have we got for pile number 2? Well, we got 222. 2266, improvement, perfection, and abundance. There will be new purchases or additions coming to you. That sounds fun. This is also, you know what? I think at the very beginning of this, I said something about home comforts. Beavers are almost always about building a secure nest. And so there is something around that. And I had something about letting something go. Hey, if you've got something that's been broken and you're not getting it fixed, get it fixed. It will improve everything. 6600, keep kindness, oh my goodness, strong, change wealth. This is a message from your creator regarding your material life. The sacred guidance from God asks you to reduce your focus on material desires. This is not that God wants you to live a poor life, but the creator asks you to try to obtain what you need more spiritually. Just keep faith and gratitude and be open to receiving symbols or new opportunities. You need to open up your psychic awareness a little bit more. And if your focus on abundance and prosperity and miracles is all about ka-ching, 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 it's not. And it won't actually take away your fear and anxiety. You will just be afraid of losing what you have until you heal the fear within. And there's all kinds of ways to do that. There are frequencies. You can just search on YouTube. There's going to be something to heal my fear frequency. You're going to get a return on it. Please consider that, because a lot of times people are trying so hard to manifest something, thinking that it will cure something that is ailing them. And almost across the board, what it really does is it gives people more to be fearful about until they heal the fear within. And how we heal fear is honestly just talking to yourself about how you're your own protector, your own provider, that you believe in yourself. And sometimes in positive self-talk, which you're getting a lot about that in this particular pile, there is an element of fake it till you make it. And if it feels really weird to speak kindly to yourself, that's what you're trying to heal. In order for you to ever be happy, you need to live in the love of energy and kindness. And that starts with you. That starts with you. And how you treat you. And how you treat you is how other people will be drawn to treating you as well. So pile number 2, some very targeted advice around healing fear and anxiety to help you manifest more. I hope you found it helpful, and thanks so much for joining me. If you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link to my website at therisingmoon.com. It's the only way to book me. I'll never approach you in comment sections or anywhere else. I have a podcast, Logical Magic, Examining Esoterica. All of the video versions of that are put up on this channel. And I have a Patreon with the Spirit Guide Weekly and the Spirit Guide Monthly and a couple of other things as well. If you'd like to join that for very targeted advice where we talk about what we're facing each week and what we're healing. It would be great to have you there. Take care. Be well. Hello, welcome back. Hey, if you chose pile number 3, this is your reading. We're going to put the number 3 over there so that people can easily fast forward to their readings. There are timestamps in the description box down below. And you chose the amethyst. This is actually another one of the crystals that is usually by my money lamp, so it should be charged with a lot of prosperity energy. And amethysts are great for psychic protection. So if you're trying to get better intuition going, one of the crystals that you can use is actually an amethyst. Let's get going here. We're using the tarot at the end of the rainbow. For your predictive cards, we're doing an infinity spread. Let's see what we have for pile number 3. Okay, by the way, if you need to book me for a private reading, you can do so at therisingmoon.com. That's the only way to book me. I have a Patreon, and I also have a podcast. Everything is linked in the description box down below. Let's get going for pile number 3. How can they manifest more abundance and success? The tarot is interesting because you can use it as a what's coming up for me, what's going to happen, or you can also use it as a what do I need to do tool. What do we got for pile number 3? How can they manifest? This deck feels very odd in my hands. I think I have the right deck. It's too late to change sources now. Let's get going. Hey, wow, weird. How can pile number 3 manifest abundance and success more easily? Okay, now I've got some better flow on it. Every now and then, a deck will be oddly resistant. This is how I connect to different people's spirit guides, by the way. I have the Ace of Wands in the upright. Oh, there's the manifestation of new and exciting things. It's also quite clearly the most phallic Ace of Wands. Here we go. I have the Four of Swords in the upright. No, I'm sorry, this is a Page of Swords in the upright. The pages in this deck are often enormous, and it can take a moment. So Page of Swords is more information, more research. Okay, it's in some kind of endeavor that you're working on. You need to get a little bit more information from a different source on how to make it happen. That comes with the Seven of Wands in reverse, which is a surrender energy and easing into the flow of things. It can be the battles that, you know where to invest your energy and not invest it. You're putting too much energy into one area, and you need to like switch a little bit. This comes out with the Six of Swords in reverse, which is closure, the end of something. It can be a literal death when it's in reverse like that, but I don't have the supporting cards on that. It looks like you're trying to develop multiple things, and one of them is like, it's time to like, back away from that one. You need a little bit more information about, it looks like the method that you're using to try and develop something. We have the Six of Cups in reverse, which is a difficult relationship from childhood. Can be giving away too much as well. I have the Nine of Pentacles in the upright, which is privilege, independence. Yeah, I really like that energy on that one. I have the Ten of Swords in reverse, which is a backstabbing energy. It's a transmutation. It can be a trauma energy as well. I have the Five of Swords in reverse, which is literally one of the cards I have for the Know You Know Betters. No, you know better than to engage in a particular battle. There's something you need to bring to an end. It's you've been trying to invest your energy in too many different areas. You need to get a little bit more information on one of the areas, a creative area that you're trying to develop. You got some apparently difficult to enact advice in the past from someone. And like they only know how to do it for themselves, and it's not quite compatible with you. So it looks like it's a creative endeavor, and that it takes up a lot of your energy, and that you have three different things going, and two of them you're supposed to be focusing on. I have the Lovers in reverse, which is being careful with your choices. It's also being in full alignment. You are being shown as being in full alignment. You've brought to end a healing phase of your life, and you're in a more surrendered and flowing energy, so that's good. And then I have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, which is a relaxation energy. I'm going to take one extra clarifier on that one. Ten of Cups in the upright, which is miracles and fulfillment. I don't always take the 11th card on that, but I felt like doing it today. How to manifest more. Focus your energy on, you've got a little bit too much going on. You're trying to keep too many balls in the air sometimes. You're not apparently good about allowing yourself enough rest and relaxation. You like start to feel like something's getting away from you, that like you're missing an opportunity. You're never going to really miss an opportunity. It looks like you try really hard to be tapped in to your guidance and into an abundant energy. It looks like this has a lot to do with money in your mind, and they want you to remember that your emotional happiness is also a form of success, and to cultivate that with the same energy and perseverance that you might physical, material success, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Let's check your fortune reading cards as well. So it can seem counterintuitive, but we've got this surrender energy. We've got this energy of relax. Be careful with your choices around relaxation. You sometimes are simply trying to do too much. And like I said, I've got this weird energy of like having taken advice from somebody who it worked for them, but it's not necessarily going to work for you. And that it's like they're a mentor and they're very like, it's like they told you not to listen to criticism ever, and to remember that sometimes people pointing out what isn't working can be the difference between making something work and watching something not work. So be open to hearing like other people's viewpoints on it as well. It's rare where we only have one teacher. Please remember that like we want to look at like abundance and manifestation and how we work with the law of attraction as being in a form of like almost magical university. It's like Hogwarts, only in the real world. And that we're not just going to have one teacher. And that if you've been trying some of these techniques and they didn't work and they didn't work and they didn't work, it's okay that you have a different answer, but like, don't exhaust yourself trying to make it work. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It just is the wrong answer for you. We have Dragonfly. Have the confidence during this time of great joy, renewal, and connection to spirit. All right, so we have progress is positive and personal goals will be achieved. Soul searching will bring inner peace to many areas of your life. Ask your guides to give you guidance on how you can succeed more before you sit down to meditate. If you do not like to meditate, that's okay. A lot of people don't like meditating. I literally did a podcast on how to open your third eye without meditation. I've referred to it all over the place. It is there in the Logical Magic playlist. I suggest you look at it if you're struggling with meditation. It will give you the focus tools you need to be able to connect. And then we have Fool, have the courage to embrace change, take risks, and be adventurous. I've got Cracker on the back of that one. You've got really good energy on this, but it's like it's okay if something that worked for somebody else is not working for you. You're allowed to have different answers. And then again, I just don't have the healthiest relationship to rest on my table for you. And that you're not being lazy when you are taking a vacation. You're not being lazy when you're saying, I don't really have the energy for that. We have the time is right. Seize the moment and make progress on your soul path. Your deepest desires constrain you. This is going to be a codependency card, but it's also remembering that if you're trying for something, and it hasn't worked out, instead of saying, why isn't it working out? Maybe start asking yourself, why isn't it actually right for me? What am I missing about what having this would be like? And I can use the example of if you manifested the mansion of your dreams, would you just worry tremendously about the upkeep and the taxes and the maintenance of it? And that maybe that you should fit what you're trying to manifest with how you really like to spend your energy. We have the courage to be free, and then nature is calling you. Know that freedom begins where desire ends. There's something that you need to let go of as being the thing that you're trying to achieve and make it more about the energy of how you think it will make you feel. All right, like if it's instead of saying, I want this house on the hill or by the sea or whatever, say, I want this feeling of luxury, of expansiveness, of success and seeing the fruits of my labor. Because that's what they're talking to you. There's something that's not working out that you need to let go of. And you're very focused on it because it worked for somebody else or they told you it did. Please remember that people can have, if somebody's trying to sell you something, they can have a reason for telling you that this is the only way to do it. And to keep that in mind, it doesn't make them evil. It's just that that's what they know and what they're trying to increase their own success with. But if you have found somebody else's answers to not match your energy, that's okay. You're a unique soul. Move forward into something else. And to pay attention to, it looks like you're putting your energy, this creative energy, into something that will not work out because this person's advice was not, tailored to you. And to go more with the emotional quality of how you think getting that would make you feel versus the specifics of it, because it looks like you've got yourself boxed in with a rigid structure that you're trying to manifest something that your guides will never help you manifest something that's actually bad for you. This is something that is very important to know. So I'm going to use a completely fictional construct here, but let's say you fell deeply, deeply in love with someone who is known to be a player. And you want to manifest a relationship with them. You want to manifest contact. You want to manifest, that is my soulmate. I feel it. I feel so very attracted to that person. We are frequently attracted to our opposite. To remember that if you're a good person, what does it mean if you are really attracted to somebody? It's maybe I should really pay attention to whether or not they're compatible with my way of living. Does it really align with my particular beliefs? To let it go. That if this person is known to be a player, it's not that they haven't met the right person, it's that that's how they may be treating relationships because of something within them. We have nature is calling you. It wants to touch, fulfill, and protect you with its healing powers. I have no reason to believe that the energy here is about trying to manifest a relationship, except for that. And that to remember that, again, we will get so blocked on a manifestation if we're just trying to force something into this reality. If something has not worked out and you've done absolutely everything that you know to work, ask yourself, is there a reason it's not meant to work out? And accepting and trusting that, like, our guides have our back. And if you're really blocked on something, it's not because they want to deny you the thing that will make you happy. They're telling you, you think it will make you happy because you don't have it. But once you had it, the happiness would fade when that person did not turn out to be any different with you. Let's get going. Oh, we have courage, and it came out in reverse, which can be about fear. But I don't normally read any oracle cards in reverse. Concealment, courage, concealment. What else have we got on this one? Growth of energy. So that can be a structure that's diminishing. Confidence, and then karmic justice on the back. I'm going to leave that up in just for a moment. The karmic justice card is also the divine timing card. What I've really got is, like, and please hear me on this, because it's not anybody trying to, like, pop your balloon or rain on your parade. It's just, like, I've got this energy of, like, somebody really, 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 really adhering to, but I was told to do this. And it's like, well, then examine what you're trying to manifest specifically. Particularly if it is a very rigid set of circumstances. I want this person as my soulmate. Well, what if that person's not your soulmate? I want that house. What if that house is in a floodplain? There are many reasons that something might not be right for you that doesn't have to do with denying you what you want, but rather accepting that if it hasn't worked out, and I keep getting thwarted at every turn, and I've gotten multiple messages about this, then maybe I should accept and relax into the, well, then bring me what is right for me in the forms of abundance and success that are. When you are really, really stuck, that is what you sit down to ask your guides to participate in, is bring me what will make me happiest. And then you accept that sometimes we get our eyes set on a prize that is not right. Manifest. Tell the universe exactly what you want. Be careful with that. Honest to goodness. If it is too specific a set of circumstances, then there's too much reality to rearrange easily. And like I said, our guides will not help hurt us. Moving. Change of residence, moving in with your partner. Manifest moving. Oh, okay. Well, that is also... Oh, there's a creative visualization technique that you can use, because it's something about a house is what this looks like. Is please don't forget to go on the real estate sites like Trulia, which is my favorite one. I don't like Zillow as much. And to not worry about the price tag, look at the different homes and be like, I want a kitchen like this. I want a view like this. Instead of I want this view, I want this kitchen. Because again, the more specific and detailed and rigid a structure, the harder it is for something to manifest. And then particularly when it's in a set of circumstances where it's like, there's just something on here that it's like, if you're trying to manifest the wrong person, boy, that will your pipes ever get clogged on that. Pregnancy, someone is expecting sexuality, someone is still figuring themselves out. I'm not entirely positive. I might have actually reached for an example that is the real deal. So if I've got somebody here who, like, you see someone who has had a spotty relationship history, until somebody figures out why they're unfaithful to relationships, they will continue to be unfaithful. Because it's not actually about their partner. It's about being in commitments they don't intend to honor and a couple of other things. And it's very easy to blame the other person as, like, they're not meeting that person's needs. People cheat because of their unmet needs, but it's usually their very personal ones, okay? I just did a codependency marker on that was a little bit like, okay, be careful with that. What else have we got here for pile number 3? How can they manifest more abundance and success? Thoughts create your reality. Boy, calm is not a weakness has been all over that. And then take responsibility for your actions. Calm is not a weakness is also one of the energies of thinking that patience is boring, that being calm is boring, that, like, you want adventure and passion. It's like adventure and passion still exist when you're calm. It's just that they come from truly invigorating experiences rather than trying to do the impossible. Thrill seekers, it's like, yeah, but sooner or later you just build up a tolerance to the thrill and it's not as thrilling. And then we have appreciate your talents with ask for guidance. For you, pile number 4, or pile number 3, that's really what I think it would help the most, because there's this get more information and this ability to like. There's another example I want to use. If you're trying to build a business and it's for you and your best friend or something, please remember that if you've gotten messages about, hey, you're struggling with some codependency, that is another energy of like they won't help you with something that's bad for you. We have to be willing to, in order to manifest, we need to have our own power. In order to be comfortable with our power, we have to be empowered. And empowered people are not codependent. Empowered people are like, I can do it by myself if I need to, for as long as I need to, and I believe in me. And that's just an example of the ways in which there's a little bit of a repeated theme in here about like examine what you're trying to manifest for. Are you positive that's what's good for you? Here we go. These are the angel numbers. I will be reading them out loud, by the way. Guardianship, insistence on moving upward, abundance awakening. The angels congratulate you and say, well done, keep it up, you will be fine. Keep your mind focused and it will have significant and positive effects. I am asking you I have practiced magic pretty much my entire adult life and I am good at it. And the idea that you have to have some lack of focus around how the universe will bring something to you, because it can take a really, really long time to manifest a super hyper specific chain of events. And so again, a kitchen like this, a house like that, a relationship like that one, a person who will make me feel the same way that that person made me feel, but in a healthy energy, that kind of thing. 3388, accumulation, improvement, abundance, and prosperity. The angels say to you, keep going. Elevate your energy and the focus of your thoughts and feelings. Adjust your perspective based on the knowledge that you are one with God, with everyone, and with all things. I would also ask you to just listen to because whenever you're being told you can't have what you're trying to manifest, we all resist. And the easiest way to manifest is to drop our resistance and say, okay, I may not fully understand why that isn't good for me, but I trust my guides. If they're telling me this part isn't good for me, I will, well, okay, then bring me what's good for me. We're going to do one more on these. All right, can you keep going, please? I will do this too. 5588, endurance, positive progress, continuous guardianship. This sequence of numbers represents that you are in the hour, in the 11th hour and about to change. Don't be afraid, because you will be supported and loved throughout the process, and this is about to happen. Embrace change. That is the biggest manifestation tip that exists. Is people forget that when they're trying to manifest, they're asking for something to fundamentally change. And then a lot of the people that I meet express actual fear of change. It's like, well, that's a blocking energy. You want things to change. You want things to change. There's the other meaning of the Six of Swords in reverse is a making amends energy as well. And the whole thing with making amends is, please remember that there are all kinds of ways to make amends in this world, and with having a changed attitude towards others is one of the easiest ways to do so. I don't know what that one's about. And don't feel accused by it. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Let's get going with the Sacred Traveler. What have I got for pile number 3? Which is a little bit of an unfocused message in a way that the others weren't, but it's because I keep running into this like wall of like, nope, that's what I want. But that's what they're telling you. Is that don't get hyper-focused on what you want. Focus on, this would make me feel this way. So bring me what would make me feel this way. Begin now. Take your first step. Interesting. Uncovering treasure. Beneath the surface lies great bounty. We had concealment as well. Boy, they're trying to let you know that gratitude, through gratitude, joy expands. On the back of that, I have choosing your path. All is possible. Through gratitude, joy expands. This, because, you know, I've got this slightly blocked energy on something, be grateful for the things that protect you from the wrong answers sometimes. That sounds a little bit like, wait, what? Just be grateful for the concept that something is trying to participate in making you have the best outcomes for you. This is so hyper-specific, and if it doesn't fit your situation, I'm going to go ahead. These are mirror love cards. This is not a love reading, but I can't shake the feeling on this. Is there something I need to know about love for these people? Is there something I need to know for pile number 3? What do I need to know here? Courting man, uniform, professional male. Blonde female, lighter hair, laid back. Dark male, darker than lighter. Is this a triangle? Communication. Short term, endings, past life. I have soulmate on the back. Listen, this is not for everybody, and you're gonna know because you've been trying to manifest a relationship with somebody. I can't tell if it really, I've got the details on them where like they struggle to remain faithful. They're a roamer. But there is a different person for you. And if it is taking a really, 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 really long time, and you'll know it's for you if you're like, yeah, and I've been at it for 3 years. If it hasn't worked out, it's because it's not good for you. So ask for somebody that will make you feel as alive, as passionate, as connected, as destined. And stop having it be focused on that person, because it looks like you may have, from a place that, remember, codependency is not a character flaw, it's a generational trauma that carries forward. If you have codependent or unfulfilling relationships in your family history, you may be repeating a pattern and not realizing it. And we are actually drawn to the people who match the energy signature of the people who damaged us in the first place, and you had a trauma marker as well. This is so hyper-specific, but it seems important enough to just kind of go into. Because I've got somebody who's trying really hard to manifest a relationship with somebody who, it's like, that person's not good enough for you. Your guides want you to know that person is not good enough for you. The things that you note about that person that you're maybe blaming on their partners, that's a choice they're making over and over again. They are showing you who they are. And that no one's trying to hurt you and trying to keep you from manifesting this particular connection. But they're trying to tell you there are reasons that it's not the best one for you. And if it comes out that you just keep insisting and push past all barriers, then all it would be is a karmic relationship to try and teach you why there was so much resistance to it. And to please be open to hearing that. Our guides always want the best for us, always. Even when they're thwarting us, it's because it's like, no, that's not good for you, you'll get burned. It's like when we're reaching towards, open flame, they're holding back our hand going, no, that will burn. And sometimes when you're putting a lot of energy into one thing, it's because your guides are saying, no, that will burn. And just to try and pay attention to that one, okay? It's not gonna be for everybody. I have a feeling it's like for one very specific person. So that was your reading, pile number 3. If you need to book me for a private reading, you can do so at therisingmoon.com exclusively, and I will never approach you in comment sections or messages trying to sell you anything. But I do have a Patreon, and I do have a podcast, and I hope you're able to check them both out. Take care. Be well.